Hello, it's Gramski, and I just wanted to talk to you about cross stitch. This is a picture that I did of the George Wythe House in Williamsburg. It was counted cross stitch. There was no pattern on the cloth. I had to actually count how many stitches and follow a pattern that was on graph paper. The fellow that did this took a photo of the house, and then he had a program that he put in the computer that printed everything out in geometric squares, which, I found very interesting. So I made it, but that was early 1980. Right now, I am doing some chicken scratch. I made my own pattern here for an S, and I follow the pattern with the squares. Like I knew that this was here, and then you go up 3, and you go up 3, and then you go over. So I'm counting. I made the pattern, but then I'm counting how to put the pattern on the fabric, which I also did to this side. I had a pattern in my head that I wanted to use, and just followed the graph for it. So that's counted cross stitch. Before I get into that, this is cross stitch, but it's so much easier because the it was printed on colored. The pattern is printed right on here. You can see where the little X's and the zeros, and you go to the key, and you see, well, I need a diagonal green, and you go here and you see a number 12, and the string will be wrapped up paper with the number 12 on it. So this is the easiest, especially, I don't think I can do counter cross stitch anymore because it's so demanding on your eyes. Cross stitch originated in the Tang Dynasty between 618 and 906 AD. But it became even more popular from ancient Peruvia, which was part of northern Egypt, from 200 to 500 AD. They used it to embellish linens, tablecloths, pillows, doilies, and cross stitch was what they used needlepoint for was more was for like rugs or tapestry that you would put on the wall. Needlepoint uses a thicker cotton, which they would have used wool back then, and you only go over one. You only go over once here, like this. Here, where's a piece of paper? Here we are. The square. For needlepoint, you just go over once. For cross stitch, you actually make a cross. So for this, you could use a whole thick piece of cotton, but for this, you want to half that cotton so that you can easily make the X. The needlepoint canvas is a lot thicker, a lot stiffer than the Aida cloth for the cross stitch. And what I want to do is get so that I can paint my own patterns, but I would want to use the stiffer canvas because I could see where it would hold my design easier, and it would be less stitching because it's just in one direction instead of the full cross. The earliest sampler, they made samplers in the early 1830s and 1870s, between that area, to teach girls how to make their numbers, alphabet stitching. I don't have a kit to show you for that because I want to design my own. I'm going to design my own sampler on the Ida cloth, and I'm going to paint on the needlepoint stiffer fabric. Well, that's all I want to say for now. Crewel embroidery is an organic style of stitching, and it encompasses a lot greater variety of stitches, like French knots and the chain stitch. Different. It's not just in one direction, but and it's not based on a grid like the cross stitch is. But you can also tell where the diamond dot patterns came from, because instead of putting the dark colors there, you would put the drills, the shiny little drills on each square. So you could say diamond dot is the modern form of cross stitch, but you still have the cross stitch patterns available to you. But if you have a hard time, if you're getting up there and you have a hard time seeing, I would get it pre-printed, because to count all those little stitches is much harder on your eyes. So that's all there is for today, and I'll talk to you later.